And welcome back to Who Would Win? From Anthony and Marcel, we have the question of who wins in a fight, King Kong or Hellboy? Now you might be asking me, Clockwork, Brett, Buddy, Bubby, why the hell is this not a speed round? King Kong should completely smack Hellboy around. And on paper, that is very true. Like, really physically, there's no way Hellboy competes with King Kong in any feasible way. He can't beat him on a strength perspective, certainly not faster. If there's anything physically he's got an edge over Kong, is that he's so small that you can kind of sneak around him. But the thing about Hellboy is this, and hold as I give Hellboy his accolades, because we will lead into the ultimate result, which I don't think is going to surprise anyone in the long haul. But still, let's at least give Hellboy some credit here. He is insanely durable. Like, the guy he's fireproof, kind of just heat proof in general. Can take a huge beating and keep going. Mind you, he's not indestructible. He can be cut, he can be shot, he can bleed. But he has that enhanced healing factor, which allows him to recover quickly. The right arm of Doom itself is, in fact, indestructible. That cannot be destroyed by any normal means. You need mysticism to do it. Hellboy is a crack shot. He's a skilled marksman. He's actually skilled with just about any weapon you give him. He's solid in a fist fight. And despite his brutish nature, he is actually very intelligent. He can strategize. He does know a lot about the occult. So he's not stupid. He also carries a pretty solid arsenal on him. Obviously, the Good Samaritan's his bread and butter. But obviously, as we saw at least in the movie, he also has the big baby, which could take down a forest god. So the question just simply comes down to, it's not if Hellboy can beat Kong the majority of the time. Kong is winning this fight. Let me be very honest. Kong is winning this fight. But can I work out a scenario where 99 times out of 100, Kong was going to win the fight? Because frankly, Kong, especially if you look at this most powerful version of Kong, which would be the legendary version, Kong is larger than any being Hellboy has fought. And Hellboy's fought some large creatures and won. Mind you, with luck, weapons, and all that. But Kong eclipses the edges about anything size-wise that Hellboy's actually gone toe-to-toe with. Not to mention the Kong himself is also highly intelligent, and the legendary version of Kong has that gauntlet and his axe. So again, the question just comes down to, in that 1 percentile, could Hellboy think of any way to put this thing down? And the fact is, he's small. I mean, he is literally just a large humanoid. He would fit in the palm of Kong's hand, no problem. Kong could just go if he wanted. Granted, I think Hellboy's durable enough to actually kind of like hold Kong's hand open to survive that, and strong enough to hold it open. As Hellboy himself also has super strength. It's not Kong strength, but it's super strength. So could he, say, climb his fur and get a solid shot on Kong? Basically, kind of like a Shadow of the Colossus kind of fight, really. And honestly, I think that is at least a feasible scenario where, Kong loses sight of him, he starts climbing the fur. Kong can kind of feel him, but he's so small he can't. Climbs up there, he gets right in Kong's face, boom, hits him in the face. And it's enough to, like, annoy Kong. Like, the right hand of Doom is still indestructible, and he's got enough super strength to probably make Kong feel that. But really, his only way to beat Kong would be to literally have the good, or whatever the strongest weapon he's ever had in his comic history, or media history, directly in Kong's face, in the eye, and just boom, and hopefully not just blow his eye out, which he would at least do that. That thing's strong enough to at least blow out the eye. But maybe hit him in the brain? Like, I'm really spitballing here. Now that I'm thinking about it, this really should have gone in the speed round. But you know what? I chose it. It was the next person up. It was the one I felt was the most doable for a standard who will win. But lesson learned. Sometimes I make the wrong choice, and they should go in the speed round. This probably should have gone in the speed round, because even with that prediction, like that alleged fight we just brought up, the chances of that happening are so slim as to just not happen. Beyond that, though, Kong isn't a demonic or supernatural being. He is a natural biological creature, especially in the MonsterVerse. In fact, actually, all of them are. All versions of Kong are a natural biological creature. So right at the gate, all of his occult knowledge goes out the window. He's not fighting an occult creature. He's just fighting a giant monster. So he's just fighting a giant animal. So that kind of puts a kibosh on a lot of the things Hellboy could do in the fight to begin with. But again, before anyone, I hate the people who say they wouldn't fight. That's not the point of the video, guys. The point of the video is that if they fought. But let's be honest, in a story where these two existed, Kong actually would Hellboy and Kong actually would probably get along. Like, he'd probably look at this creature, see the intelligence and the loneliness in it, and see a bit of himself reflected in it. He'd probably just sit there, smoke a cigar, and Kong would kind of just be like, smell it, look at him, just like, hey, big guy, don't mind me, just having a smoke. And Kong be like, yeah, last of your kind. Yeah, it's only one of me, too. Sucks, huh? But at least we, it sucks, huh? Yeah, but I guess guess it ain't too bad. I found people who kind of appreciate me for me. How about you? And Kong just kind of look at him, and I'm sure Kong can, on some level, understand human language. We know he can understand sign language, but he probably doesn't understand certain levels of words. And Kong just maybe kind of sits down in his own way, and they just kind of have a peaceful moment with each other. That would honestly be how that comic would go. These guys wouldn't fight at all. These guys would actually really get along with each other. Like, what, last of his kind versus the only one of his kind. Two freaks that people are scared of, but they still find individuals to care about. So yeah, that's my take on it. Kong clearly wins the large majority of the fights. There's maybe a sliver of a chance that Hellboy, given that he has experience with large beasts and monsters and creatures and demons and such, could figure out a way to at least get a debilitating shot in on Kong, but he'd have to do a lot of work to get that hit in it. It's the only thing he could really do in this fight. Otherwise, it's clearly Kong. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Kong loses every time. Maybe Hellboy really is the Messiah. Let me know in the comments below what you think. Thanks for watching, though. Hope you enjoyed. I'll see you next time.